This is a News Channel Nebraska special report.
Well, good evening, Nebraska, and welcome to Quarantine Tonight, Nebraska's only variety show, and your favorite variety show is tonight. We celebrate the beginning of what I'm calling Piano Week. No, we don't have a piano act every night, but as you'll recall, early on in this whole quarantine process, we were so fortunate to get a beautiful grand piano from Lutheran High Northeast High School. Of all the things that we could have called them up and asked them for, we asked them for a grand piano so that we could attract the top talent in the state. In fact, the first performance we had was Stephen Larson, a Creighton, Nebraska native, world-class pianist, and he said, in lieu of even money, what I really want is I want a beautiful grand piano to play on. And I said, of all the pianos that you know of in this area of the undisclosed location, what would be your favorite? And he said, if I really could pick one, it would be the grand piano at Lutheran High Northeast. And so days before that performance, I called the principal at Lutheran High Northeast. I asked for permission to literally borrow, to remove the piano from that high school based in Norfolk and bring it to our undisclosed location, and he got it immediately without even really questioning a lot. He said, if this is to make people happy, if it's to celebrate the talents of folks that have the ability to play beautifully on a piano, then Lutheran High Northeast wants to be part of it. Well, as you might imagine, school is starting back up. The students at LHNE are excited to begin again in their music endeavors. And so this Thursday, our beautiful black grand piano is going back to its home at Lutheran High Northeast. But not before I schedule two very good pianists. And tonight, we're going to start out with Kevin and Heidi Cheng. They've been on twice before. Kevin's a world-class pianist from originally from Taiwan, moved to Nebraska, living now in Central City. His wife, Heidi, from Kearney, Nebraska. They met in music, they were married in music, and they work literally 7 days a week in music. This is the hardest working showbiz act in the state of Nebraska, and they are here tonight for two reasons. One is they're absolutely wonderful, and the second is that every single resident at Evergreen Hill Assisted Living in O'Neill, Nebraska sent in a petition. And I'm not making that up, a petition, like you would petition your congressman. That's what they sent in. And then this Wednesday night, I'm very pleased to tell you, we're going to enjoy the sounds of Matt Mayer, an accomplished pianist from Omaha who will soon be releasing his next hit. That will be coming back to us on Wednesday night, so we hope you join us for that. Let's go ahead and start our evening with a prayer. Again, we want to thank the University of Nebraska Medical Center, and we begin tonight's celebration of talent with a quick prayer.
Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Jarvis Green, living in Lincoln, Nebraska now. I am very honored to be able to pray this afternoon so that everyone can have a little more encouragement throughout the week or throughout the weekend. So again, just bow your heads real quick, and we're just going to pray and get the night started off. Thank you, Lord, for bringing us all on this network to just kind of understand that there is some light at the end of the tunnel, Lord. And we just want to make sure that when times are getting bad and getting rough, Lord, we call on your name, Jesus. And we just want to make sure that with everything going on in our world right now, in our life right now, in our circumstances right now, that we call on you, and we make sure that with you we can do anything. With you we can have the strength to proceed. With you we can just make sure that even though a lot of stuff is just keeping us down and keeping us weighted. We can just trust on you and just hope that one day we will get a chance to see you and just to love you and to be in the same relationship and fix that relationship that was ruined in Genesis. And just want to make sure that in time, not right now, but in the future, we will be back in your arms in connection with you, Lord. And I just wanted us to just understand the value in that, Lord, and just humble ourselves and open our heart up to all the great things that you have for us in our life, Lord, and just repent of all of the sin that we have in our life so that we can be with you, Lord. Amen. Have a great night, everyone. Enjoy the show. Again, Jarvis Green out here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Follow me on Gym Health and Fitness God Every Moment on Facebook, Gym Health and Fitness on Instagram. Have a great night, everybody.
Well, thank you very much. That was Jarvis Green in Lincoln, Nebraska. Kevin and Heidi Cheng, welcome back to the program. So good to see you.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
So this married couple has been at this several years. They have students all over the place. They were just telling me you have 3 students in Comstock, Nebraska, and you were there this weekend?
Yes.
You picked up a student from your last performance. She was cleaning someone's house, and she happened to see it on TV, and she said, sign us up. Well, what does she play, the violin or the piano?
The violin.
She's a violin, okay.
Violin.
Where are your other clients? You have one in Iowa.
We have one in Iowa, mostly around our general area, Central City, Grand Island. But yeah, and what's encouraged me is I'm teaching 5 adult students. So students that are 20 years older than I am, but they want some for the first time learn the instrument, some coming back to it from when they were in high school, revisiting a talent they once had. And so it's been neat to see, and I think people have a little bit more time now maybe than they did previously, so good use of that time.
Actually, Chad Barnhill was telling me that music stores across the country have never been busier than they are right now with coronavirus.
That is awesome. We're so thrilled. Yes.
And Kevin, how many students do you have?
Just about 4, I think, so far.
So 3 in Comstock?
I'm trying to think. 2. One of them is only having violin.
Only violin, yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good. So tonight we're looking forward to just a mix. Your first set's going to be very patriotic.
Yes.
Your second set's going to be geared towards Disney and children.
Yes.
Your third set, is that the mystery set?
That's the mystery
Explain the
set.
mystery set to me.
So the mystery set, you are going to hear a bunch of familiar melodies, maybe from musicals, movies, and they seem to be ones we play that everyone recognizes and they're favorites. And even like our generation will recognize these too. So we tried to make it diverse so anyone who's sitting in front of that TV should enjoy something tonight.
So in the third set, if you're watching, take a pencil and a paper and see if you can jot down the names of the songs.
There you go.
And then at the end of the set, Kevin and Heidi will tell you the names to see how close you got.
That's right.
And then we have a fourth set with a bonus that I don't even know about. It's a longer piece that Kevin's going to be doing.
That's right.
And then maybe we'll have time for a little bit more.
That's right.
All right, Kevin, just a little bit of business. I know you're from Taiwan. I was reading today that coronavirus cases in Vietnam have shot up exponentially, a country that really had their act together the first couple of months. How are things going in Taiwan? Have you seen anything? Has your mom or dad said anything about what's happening there?
They only talk about that China is wanting to release a second wave, but other than that, there's nothing going on.
You better be careful. The Chinese could hear that. Well, that's good. Well, not good, but they sound like they're healthy. Your mom's healthy? Mm-hmm. She ever watch you on Quarantine Tonight?
She should be. I sent her the link and we put it on our Facebook so we can make sure my parents can watch it from Taiwan too.
What time is it right now in Taiwan?
It's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, so it's just like a mid-morning treat for her. Hi, Mom. Anybody else watching today?
We announced it to a lot of the nursing home and assisted living home we've been to recently, but we don't know for sure who is going to be on. So.
All right. Well, if you don't know, Kevin and Heidi Cheng, they go to a lot of different assisted living and skilled care facilities in the state. They have students. They go to they perform other places. They perform in churches, but they really do a lot of work in a lot of the skilled and assisted nursing homes across the state of Nebraska. And they have a following, a literal petition arrived at my office from every single resident of Evergreen Hill and O'Neill. They are big fans of the Chengs. So. I bet you do. And you go there every month, don't you?
We do. So we play outdoors. And hey, later on, if you don't mind, we'll share. We are having some outdoor concerts in Nebraska.
Oh, good.
And so wherever you are, you might be close to one of them.
Well, here's the deal, folks. We're going to put up their phone number. We're going to make sure we get it absolutely right tonight. And we will put up their information on Facebook, how to get a hold of them, and we'll make sure that when they leave this undisclosed location that their phone is ringing off the hook with new gigs all over the state. How's that sound?
Sounds awesome.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kevin and Heidi Cheng, and they are going to put a special concert on for us tonight on the Lutheran High Northeast Piano, which we'll talk more about in moments. You're watching News Channel Nebraska.
Yes, and thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Little did you know that you were going to travel somewhere today. Kevin and I have had the privilege of going all over Nebraska and doing outdoor concerts in small communities. Let me tell you, we have seen some awesome small town culture. So, we're going to take you to the streets of Comstock, Nebraska, where we went to a 4th of July parade, and let me tell you, it was one of a kind. So, everyone was involved. There's probably about a population of 70 in that town, and there were about 70 in the parade. And it was especially exciting because every single float coming down Main Street won first place in its division. So we're going to let you take a peek into just exactly what that was like. We're going to start off with some great march music, though. And so if you were in marching band once upon a time, you'll probably recognize these melodies. Here is what is known as the American Patrol.
Oh, that just sounds wonderful. The Chengs are doing a great job tonight. I'm just going to step in for just a second here because we want to get your microphone fixed.
Oh.
You do such a good job talking and telling everybody all these stories. We don't want anybody to miss out, so we'll just go ahead and give you a few updates here while they switch out her microphone. A reminder that Quarantine Tonight is a program Monday through Friday. If this is the first time you're watching, we do this each and every night. And this week, we've got a whole bunch of talent lined up for you. Right now, obviously, we've got Kevin and Heidi Cheng. They are from Central City. He's a pianist. She's a violinist. And as you just heard in that first piece, this is going to be a musical treat for you. We hope you're enjoying it. The reason this is their third time on our program is that so many of you have reached out and shared with us how much you enjoy the music of the Chengs, and you heard here just a moment ago how great it sounds. I want to reemphasize on Wednesday, we're going to have Matthew Mayer here. He does a delightful job with very relaxing, soothing music, so much so that you can buy all of his music on Apple or wherever you buy digital music. You can just download their songs, and you know, I try to walk for 1 hour each day. And I downloaded Matthew Mayer's music, and nothing's better when you're walking than to listen to what this artist in Omaha does. So there we go. We come out here to this wonderful two-shot, and yes, we have a great team. Christian just did a wonderful job. Now this microphone, you have to get right up on it.
Okay.
Even closer.
Even closer.
It has to, there you go.
Okay.
It's very particular. And you too, Kevin. We got one right up on you.
Okay.
So, and you two kind of do a little radio, don't you? You should know how to do this.
Yes, definitely.
That's on the Christian station in Grand Island.
Jay, however, it is no longer on the air.
Oh no!
So, which is really sad. But hey, we had a chance for a little bit. So.
You got to do something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Chengs on News Channel Nebraska.
So, and as I described earlier, we transported you through music to the small town of Comstock, Nebraska, where the population is 70. Now, people were wondering, during this time, what should we do about the 4th of July parade and being socially distanced and all of that? Well, they had this figured out there in Comstock, Nebraska, and this is what they did. They hitched horse carts together, okay? And it was pulled by a tractor. There was one person in each horse cart, and on it, it said appropriate social distancing. It was perfect. Everyone enjoyed it. And they didn't have to cancel the 4th of July parade. So I mentioned horse carts. There were about 6 of them with a tractor pulling. And so that is what we could call the Gallant 7th. Allen 7th, and you are in Comstock, Nebraska, enjoying a small-town 4th of July parade. Now, let me tell you, there's nothing like it. I hope you have a bag ready to catch all the candy that's being thrown off the floats to the crowd by the roadside. Now, it happened to be my birthday on the 4th of July, so I feel like an extra patriotic girl. In fact, my brothers used to tell me that my pigtails were long fuses and that they were going to light them and I was going to be one big firecracker. Well, my husband Kevin, on that 4th of July parade, hadn't quite decided what to get me on my birthday, and it was my birthday, so as you can imagine, the pressure was high. Now, as those floats were going by, the tractors, the cars, the horses, one of them threw out a piece of candy, and he thought, that's it. So he grabbed that lollipop off the ground and gave it to me and said, "Happy birthday." Someone said he was the most generous husband. So, anyhow, on with the parade, and we're going to see some fine tractors and cars coming down the road. Be sure to save energy because later on there's races for all ages. Here is none other than El Capitan by John Philip Sousa. Ladies and gentlemen, El Capitan and John Philip Sousa. And again, we're at this 4th of July parade now. While we're seeing all of this go by, one thing that we took note of is that many first responders were represented. Those firefighters and the EMTs and the ambulances coming down the road in their vehicles, as well as the policemen. Be sure to thank them because they are there round the clock and they were represented at this 4th of July parade. And as you know, that marching band had music ready for every float coming down Main Street. Now, we're so glad you can enjoy this music in a comfortable living room, hopefully air conditioned. And because usually on the 4th of July, it's about 95 and you have to put on your thick marching band costumes, but not today. So, as we hear and see those vehicles coming down the road, here is The Thunderer by John Philip Sousa. Imagine all of those things coming down the street, coming down Main Street. And so to finish off this section here, we're going to bring you one more John Philip Sousa march called the Liberty Bell. and gentlemen, we hope you enjoyed that 4th of July parade.
My goodness, you two are just getting started here on a Monday night. This is a lot of energy for a Monday. Kevin, great job on the piano. You like these patriotic songs here?
I do.
All right. By the way, you should know he was in the Army in Taiwan. Looked very much forward to getting to the United States after that, right? Yeah, he does a good job with those songs. And Heidi, delightful as always on the violin. I tell you what we're going to do. Coming up next, we have something special for the kids. It's Disney favorites, so if you've got kids or if you've just watched a lot of Disney movies, you might recognize each and every one of the songs coming up. But before we do that, let's go to Mike's mailbag. Find out what we have coming to us in the mail. We hear so many nice things about Kevin and Heidi Cheng. We like to kind of check it out and see what's out there. Here's from Mr. and Mrs. Paul Scharf Jr. in Columbus. Thank you very much for having Mass from St. Isidore's with Father Joe. We attend that parish, and when we heard in March that we couldn't go to church anymore, we were really sad. Then a relative told us it would be on TV, and that was good to hear. Now we found out there are other neat things on NCN to watch. Thank you again. Well, thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Scharf. Here's one from Laura in Schuyler. Just a thank you to NCN and Father Joe. She watches his Mass every morning. His homilies are so down to earth and so relatable. It is such a joy to watch and a perfect way to start each day. She writes, I have written before, but I am continuing to be amazed at the amount of talent and the variety that you're able to get on Quarantine Tonight. I even watch the reruns on the weekend. Nebraska is a special place. Well, thank you so much, Laura, for that note. Here's one from Anonymous. Love your show and showing off the many talents of Nebraskans. Well, we appreciate that so much. We would love to get a letter from you, and let me tell you what the added benefit is if we haven't heard from you yet. By sending us a letter, we're going to send you a letter with some of the upcoming shows that we have. We are obviously scheduled to continue our program through August 14th, but are hoping to be able to announce a plan going forward starting next week. We, like you, are kind of waiting to see what's going to happen with all the high school sports that are happening all over the state of Nebraska. At this point, today, according to the Nebraska State Activities Association, it sounds like there will be football and there will be volleyball, but some of the larger school districts, like Omaha Public Schools, they don't sound too likely to have all of those extracurriculars. Nevertheless, we'll have plenty to cover if the rest of the schools do it, and we will do our best to bring it to you and balance it out with Quarantine Tonight. But our plans have not yet been finalized. But if you send us a letter to that address that you just saw on your screen, we will put you on our mailing list to let you know exactly what we do. We'll take a quick break, get a look at news, and our chief meteorologist, Jeff Fox, will be back with that good-looking forecast the rest of the week. It's all ahead on News Channel Nebraska. Welcome back to News Channel Nebraska. I'm your host, Mike Flood, and Bloomfield, Nebraska is a beautiful community. I had a grandpa that was from there, and you just saw a commercial there with lots of nice-looking big homes with 5 bedrooms. So, Kevin and Heidi, as you start your family, you could relocate from Central City to Bloomfield and get a deal on a house, but you'd have a lot of catching up to do because you don't have any kids yet, right?
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, that's an awfully big house. Maybe you want to go into the ranch house that was on the TV before you graduate to the big attached 3-car garage.
Maybe so. Yeah. One step at a time.
One step at a time, she says. Well, you sound wonderful tonight. Let's hear the sounds of Disney tonight on News Channel Nebraska.
Absolutely. Speaking of children, we love children. And the amazing thing about Disney is a lot of these melodies are classically inspired, especially the first one we're going to do. So as far as music that's good and healthy for kids to listen to build their brains and give them good listening skills, Disney is one of them. So take advantage of some of the great Disney musicals that are still around and even go back to some of the originals that maybe we don't hear quite so often. In fact, we're going to start off with one of those originals inspired by the composer Tchaikovsky. It's also a waltz or a dance from the Disney story of Sleeping Beauty. Ladies and gentlemen, and children, Once Upon a Dream from Sleeping Beauty. Again, an old classic inspired by Tchaikovsky. Now, Disney is so much fun, and it includes princesses and their love stories, finding their Prince Charming. You never know if it might be a frog that you would kiss or not. But they also include animals. In fact, a child's favorite, maybe it was yours, is Lion King. Here is a classic that is loved everywhere, and it includes that word love. In fact, maybe you can even feel this tonight. Can you feel the love tonight? Can you feel the love tonight? That was from The Lion King. And now from a Disney story that has been recently made into a movie. It's actually my favorite, called Beauty and the Beast. And of course, you know this story, and your children probably do as well, how this princess fell in love with a beast, and it was that love that transformed him from beast into Prince Charming. So here is the main theme we all know from Beauty and the Beast. Don't you just love the Disney stories and the songs they bring to us? In many ways, they're timeless. So, if you are a parent out there or even a grandparent, we as musicians want to tell you to have your kids listen to melodies from Disney. And even more so, we would encourage you to turn on that classical music every once in a while. It's good for them. The way it's organized, the way it is composed in an organized fashion does something for the brain. And so you feel relaxed and organized after listening to that type of music. Good prerequisites for doing schoolwork. So, just a thought for you. Now, you heard some Disney, but this next section, we're excited to share it with you because, and what's maybe exciting for you is that you don't know what we're going to play, but we think you know. In fact, we hope we picked some of your favorites. And so we're going to start off kind of preparing you for the next section. Now, a clue is a lot of these are melodies from movies. Now, Kevin and I are classical music fans, and we love it. However, the modern day classical music is in the movies. So, they've produced some great music. We're going to start off with one that was actually a historic event. Ladies and gentlemen, did you guess that one? Again, this is just a warm-up for what's to come. That was from the movie Titanic. Mike, did you catch on to that one?
I did, and actually I was in between this undisclosed location and the broadcast truck, and the weather is so beautiful tonight.
Yes.
That if you could match your music with the weather, both things are in sync. It's just a wonderful evening where we are. So, Kevin, is that one of your favorites, that Titanic one? Kind of a love song to do with your wife. That's such a nice way to spend an evening here. And we're getting so many good comments online from people just enjoying the show so much. You're bringing a lot of joy to a lot of people. So on behalf of all of them and Lutheran High Northeast for this beautiful piano, you have to admit, you don't go many places and get to play on something this nice. Do you, Kevin?
That's right.
This has got to be the top of the line. And as you might know, Thursday it's going back to the students at the high school because they are getting ready. In fact, right now, Chad Barn, who helps on this show, he's with a marching band at a local high school. They're getting all kind of started up. So you can feel the excitement of the school year, even though the pandemic is having its way. But I'm so glad that you got to play this. Now, we have to figure out a way forward if we continue this program because this piano, I feel, is part of the draw. What kind of piano do you think we could get away with on this program and still have it be very nice? Like, what do you like to play on?
Well, we got a portable one that we use with a big loudspeaker that is somewhat decent quality too. It's nowhere near this, but it's
Does it make the same quality sounds as this?
Not quite. Electronic things can never come close to the real acoustic. So.
Is this what you have at your house, one of these? This big?
No, I don't believe it's quite this big. It's, I think, 6'1".
Okay, but it's a baby grand piano, maybe? Okay.
It was the first piece of furniture in our house.
Oh, of course. You didn't. Before you two bought a couch, you bought a piano, didn't you?
That was also our dining table for quite a while.
It was?
He's joking.
Well, I didn't know. Well, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we have our mystery segment where they're going to play how many songs? 4 songs?
About 4 or 5, yep.
4 or 5 songs. And your job at home is to write them down and to see how close you get to identifying all the songs. They're specifically chosen to be songs that you should probably know if you search your memory well enough, and we'll see how you'll. So we're going to play a little game. So get your pad and paper ready, and also after the 4th song or the 5th song, when we go to tell you the answers, I'm also going to give you their phone number so that you can get a hold of them in the event that you have a certain gig you'd like them to do, because they have a car, they're willing to travel. You can't leave with this beautiful machine here, which I'm so glad. You know, what I like about this week is it made me really think, who do I want to see play this piano? And obviously, you were on the list. So we'll be right back with more on Quarantine Tonight, brought to you in part by the University of Nebraska Medical Center in just moments on NCN. There's that good-looking house in Bloomfield again. I was just showing Heidi. Yeah, 5 bedrooms.
Oh my!
That's a lot of kids. Or there's the acreage, or there's the ranch in town. We're gonna sell these. We're gonna sell these homes on this show tonight.
My goodness!
You could be the first one. If you're pre-qualified, we could just do the deal. We could sign it on the back of the car.
Sounds good.
Well, actually, this couple lives in Central City, and you're from Kearney, and you went to high school in Central City, right, Kevin? So that's a very familiar town, and I'm sure the people in Central City are very, very, very proud to have you there. So we wouldn't want to rip you away and put you in Bloomfield. But if you are watching tonight in Yankton, we do want to put you in Bloomfield. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is our mystery round. Kevin and Heidi are going to play. How many exact songs do we have in this?
There's going to be 5.
5 songs. So I'm going to get my pencil out. You get yours out. Let's see if we can get them right.
I'm pretty sure you'll get all of them.
Are you pretty sure?
Yes, I have a lot of faith in you.
All right, well, let's find out. And at the end, we'll also give you their phone number so that you know exactly how to get a hold of Kevin and Heidi if you'd like them to come to something that you would like music at. So ladies and gentlemen, Kevin and Heidi Cheng right here on News Channel Nebraska.
Thank you so much, Mike. And how did we pick our selections for this next section? Well, many times when we're called up, for example, for a wedding or some event like that, we're asked to play always, almost every single time, certain pieces. Now, we're going to give you some clues. A lot of them are from musicals, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this room is going to recognize a majority of them. And now, maybe if you're in your 30s and 40s, maybe I'm sure you'll recognize them even younger. We're in our 20s. And in fact, the grand finale came to Lincoln as a musical last year. It was incredible. So keep that pencil going, and we're going to start off with perhaps the most famous. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I would love to announce it to you, but I'm going to leave that to you. So as Mike suggested, if you have a pad and paper next to you, write it down. All right. Now we're going to jump into another one that has become an epic theme, I would have to say. It's from a movie. I'm going to give you a clue here. It's from a movie about a runner who went into the Olympics, and his courage and his fiery spirit and his faith in God helped him all the way. Here is the main theme from that one. So, all right, again, pencil and paper, write it down. It's from a movie about a runner. And when we announce it at the end, if you haven't seen it, my goodness, it's well worth your time. Okay, now, those in your teens and 20s and 30s, here's a favorite, and I think you'll know it right away. And we're asked this most often for weddings. So, if you are going to get married or you know someone who hasn't or who is getting married and they haven't found musicians yet, well, write down our number, give us a call. We would love to oblige. All right, so yet again, a recent wedding classic. So if you would like that for your wedding, just give us a call. Okay, so there are so many musicals out there that I think you would have to take a lifetime to watch every single one of them. But here is one that is a beautiful story and also has some of the most touching music you'll ever hear. Again, it's been a more recent musical that's been recreated, and also a huge clue, it's a thick novel. So maybe you've read the book, maybe you've watched the musical. If you haven't watched the musical, it's a great one. So here is one of the most famous from that one. All right, so we've had a few quiet ones, but be prepared. This last one, the grand finale of this section, is perhaps one of the most well-loved musical selections from a musical out of all ages who have viewed it. So let's get started with this grand finale.
Wow. Now, okay, so we just did the mystery round, and that was harder than you said it was.
Okay.
For some of us non-music people, I played with Michael Harms in the NCN broadcast truck. We certainly knew Chariots of Fire was the first song.
Yes.
But Kevin, Heidi, would you go through and okay, so we're going to test and see how good you are. So all the people that were playing at home, let's go through
Yes.
song number 1.
Song number 1 was The Prayer.
Oh, see, neither
Yes.
Michael or I figured that one out.
Okay.
And that
right before the Chariots of Fire.
Right before
right, okay, so the
Chariots of
prayer
Fire.
was the first one,
Yes.
and then Chariots of
And
Fire.
then Chariots of Fire.
Okay.
And then right to follow that, it even escapes my mind. What did we play next? After Chariots.
Oh, so you didn't even remember.
Forgot.
You didn't even
we
remember.
Didn't forget it, remember it. And, oh yes, 1,000 Years, which is a classic nowadays in weddings.
Okay.
And
so the
then
third song was
1,000 Years.
1,000 Years.
And then the fourth one was Bring Him Home from Les Miserables. The
Okay, so Michael
musical.
got that one. He got that
Okay.
one.
Okay, and then the last one was Phantom of the Opera, which came to Lincoln last year, 2019. And so we were playing this all around Lincoln while it was being shown at the Lead Center.
Okay.
And so was everyone was singing it, and it was kind of a big deal then, and is still a favorite now.
Well, that was not a
So-
beginner's set of songs. Like, that was for intermediate music majors, maybe. I was back there in the truck trying to think, okay, now which one is this? And I looked at Michael Harms, he looked at me, and I was like, I said, what question do you have for these two? And his only question was, who asked who to get married here?
Who asked
Did you
who?
ask her to marry you? Was this no? Because just so you know, we know a lot about this couple. They met while cleaning a buck that you shot somewhere north of Kearney, right?
It was one I hit with my car.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You hit the buck with your car. You took it to her house. She had known of you from the orchestra.
Right.
But then, how long after that did you decide to get married?
I think it was 6 months.
Okay. And did you propose to her?
I did.
Okay. And how did you do that? And where did you do that?
We did it at one of my favorite place where I used to hunt all the time, a little bit south of Central City by Hortville. And we went on a really nice walk up onto the top of the hill, and we have a couple from our church behind us doing it was an elderly couple that was just there following us to take pictures.
Oh.
They were sneaking behind us.
Did you know all this was going on, or a complete surprise?
Yes.
You knew he was going to propose
I
to
knew
you.
he was going to propose. The only ones who didn't know were everyone else.
Oh, of course. Well,
So
I think it's not
great.
surprising to me that you were in on it, because she does a good job of kind of keeping things organized, doesn't she? She keeps you probably pretty organized.
That's right.
That's right. All right, I tell you what we're going to do. We want to put up your phone number here.
Yes.
And make sure everybody sees it. This is how you get a hold of Kevin and Heidi. You
That's
can
right.
see, you can go to them on Facebook by going to Kevin and Heidi Cheng, Cheng, or you can call them, and let's just make sure we have the number right, 308-293-0754.
that's right.
And just so you know, these two, literally, some days, just this is their full-time job. But some days they do up to 4 performances a day. Is that the most you've done in a day?
6.
6 in different towns too.
No, it was mostly all in the same town. Around Christmas, we almost all the nursing homes want us to come do a Christmas program. Maybe no other time of year, but Christmas is a big deal. And so these were mostly, 5 of them were in the Kearney area, and the 6th one was in Holdridge. And so we just made a whole day out of it. And
You're burning the rubber off those tires.
yes,
You two. All right. Well, I love it. There's the number. 308-293-0754.
That's
If you'd
right.
like Kevin or Heidi to come together, play for you, Kevin and Heidi, give them a call. There was even somebody last time that called and wanted some lessons.
that's right. Yes. Also, as I mentioned, if you have a wedding, we played a signature wedding piece. If you know of someone who's getting married, or if you're getting married, we would definitely love to play for your wedding as well.
If I were getting married again, I would have you play at my wedding. But I've been married for a couple of years, so there you go. So there you go. Kevin and Heidi Cheng will be right back. We're going to take a quick look at weather, and then our finale is all on the way right here at News Channel Nebraska. Welcome back to Quarantine Tonight. So we just had the mystery round from Kevin and Heidi Cheng, and I checked with our camera operators and our sound folks here, and they too thought that was a little tougher than a beginner's job there. You too kind of had me, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to get all these. But no, we didn't. That's what makes a mystery round fun. I'm sure some in our audience did. And if you did, congratulations. Good on you. Tell me about this last round here. You've got some beautiful music.
Yes. So we have just some grand finales. We have some classical from Kevin, which is always a highlight. And guess what? We classical musicians learned a favorite genre for some of you. It's called polka.
Oh, you're kidding. You're going to do a polka.
We're going to do a polka. I'm not going to dance,
How did
but
you
I'm gonna
know
play.
that was so loved? You've been watching the program, haven't you?
Well, and we have been asked, what do you play? And we tell them, oh, we can play all genres. And then, of course, what would they do? They would request a polka.
Of course.
And when we had nothing to offer, sometimes we were just about asked to leave.
That's not going to happen twice.
That's right. And so we decided we better learn some polka. So that's what you're going to hear, as well as some bluegrass and another classical grand finale. So.
Well, one question before we start. If you had to
Yes.
pick, each of you, what is your favorite genre? What would you say?
Definitely classical.
I was going to say
Yes.
that for you. All right, Kevin. Now is your chance. What if you had to pick any genre, what is it?
Country.
Are you kidding? You love
John
country.
Denver.
You love John
He
Denver.
loves John Denver, yes.
I'm glad I asked that question. Do you do Take Me Home on the piano ever?
I think we did it the first time we were
First
here.
time.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. So country is your favorite.
Specifically, John Denver. I just love it.
Specifically. Did you know about him growing up in Taiwan?
Mm-hmm.
You knew John Denver? Your mom liked John Denver?
My mom sing quite a bit of big name pop singer here live in Taiwan. So
Oh, does she? I hope she's watching. This next set could be for her. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, Kevin and Heidi Cheng, the wonderful couple from Central City, Nebraska, performing for you live tonight on Quarantine Tonight.
Thank you so much, Mike. And again, finishing off with a grand finale. You're not going to be disappointed with a couple of pieces Kevin's going to bring your way, as we hope some favorites of yours in addition to that. So he's going to start off with a bang. This is one by Chopin called Revolutionary. Thanks so much, Mike. Excuse me. So, yes, that was Revolutionary by Chopin. And of course, for our grand finale, we have multiple genres, so you're guaranteed to enjoy. We hope at least one of them, and I think especially this next one. Now, Kevin and I are 24 and 25 years old, and let me tell you, we have learned a lot. And so when we come and perform for you, we're going and learning that music from the 30s and 40s and 50s, which we love so much. But growing up, we weren't always exposed to all of those, including polka. And so this was actually a special treat for us as well to learn a polka just for you. And ladies and gentlemen, maybe you're sitting in your living room. You might even have the beverage this polka includes sitting right next to you. If not, maybe grab some if you want to. Here is one known as the beer barrel polka. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Beer Barrel Polka. We sure hope you enjoyed, and as you know, we're young, we're willing to learn, so if we've played one polka for you, there's guaranteed to be a few more yet to come when we come to you next. And so I know many of you may be watching from Lincoln and Omaha and O'Neill. A special hello to you, and Johnny Ray Gomez, if you happen to be watching out there too, we want to thank you for your inspiration to us to learn these genres. And he's an excellent accordionist. He's been a mentor and a help to us, and we greatly appreciate him. So thank you, Johnny Ray Gomez, if you're watching us tonight. We appreciate you. All right, so we're going to go on next to a couple of bluegrass pieces. Now, these are gospel melodies interwoven together, and then in comes some of that bluegrass style. Kevin and I love this style perhaps the best, especially the sacred, as it reflects what Jesus has done in our hearts and the redemption he's given us. We love to reflect that through music. Here is that set to music. It's called Our Savior's Love. Now take a careful listen, because there's going to be about 4 different gospel pieces all in one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was just one, but here is perhaps a bluegrass favorite that you might have grown up with, maybe a hand clapper or a toe tapper. Now I've played for you Power in the Blood. This is a similar one that you might recognize as Washed in the Blood. So if you want to put those hands together, maybe even those feet, go right on ahead. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you were able to enjoy with a little bit of hand clapping, maybe some foot tapping. But up next, you are in for a real treat. Now, I have to do a good introduction here because many of us, in fact, this is a popular classical number, and it's called Moonlight Sonata. You've probably heard the first portion of it. Kevin's going to give you just a little example here. Wow, so beautiful. But, you know, it's the last few minutes. You might be a little sleepy. Maybe you're just going to brush your teeth and go right to bed. Well, we don't want to put you to sleep right where you're at. So Kevin decided instead of playing the first movement, he's going to play the third movement, which is quite different.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, Heidi, come on out here. This is just fantastic. That was a wonderful job there, Kevin. Thank you so much. He's smiling, but you don't get a lot of words out of Kevin very often, do you there, Heidi?
Oh,
You get a lot of words.
He's actually more the talker than I am, believe it or not.
Well, he must just call him up when he's on my television program. Now, how long did it take you to learn that piece, Kevin?
I think it was about 3-4 months when I was in junior high school.
Oh, you learned that in junior high. Well, that's good because I was doing a lot of other unproductive things when I was in junior high, but look at you. You just picked that up. It must be fun, though, doing this as a couple all over the state with your violin and him on the piano. You just do a wonderful job. And on behalf of everybody watching tonight, we had to beat out all the other channels with something so fun and relaxing on this station.
Well, thank you.
Let's show everybody, if you would like to get a hold of the Chengs, this is their number, and you can also find them on Facebook. We'll put that right up there. And here's the deal. They work off of the performances that they do and would love to hear from you.
That's right.
And the last time they were on the show, I put their number up, but I was one number off. But this is the right number, 308-293-0754. Let's keep that up there until the end of the program. On behalf of all of our audience, thank you again for being here. What's next? Are you driving back to Central City tonight?
Driving back to Central City and then Lincoln. Here we come tomorrow.
What time are you in Lincoln tomorrow?
We have 2 shows in the afternoon, 1:45 and 3:15.
My goodness. So what is sleeping in for you two?
Well, sometimes because we work late into the night, we do, sleep until 8 o'clock.
And then Kevin gets on the piano and plays you something to get you up and going, and then plays you a lullaby at night. That's the way it works, isn't it? You play her lullabies?
Usually she gets me up in the morning. So
I see. Well, you're a fun couple to have here. Thanks again,
Well,
Kevin and
thank
Heidi Cheng.
you.
For all of us at News Channel Nebraska, we wish you a very good night. It's 10 o'clock.
We now join regular programming on News Channel Nebraska.